Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Classic WoW video. My name is Kargoz, and today I come to you under dire circumstances, and I hope to share with you a message that means a lot to me, kind of with regards to where we are as a community with Classic WoW and where we're headed. So, thanks for joining me. We're just taking a nice little stroll through Duratar. My homeland is an orc here. We're playing on the Deviant Delight RP PvP server on North America. And let's begin. So just as a precursor, as a disclaimer, I just want to say that I love this game. I truly do. It's done so much for me. I've had countless good times in all the zones. Played probably a dozen servers at this point over the years since Nostalrius. I've been there for every step of the way, from the rise and fall of Nostalrius, the Mark Kern petition, the announcement in 2017, the servers that followed, Elysium, Zethker, K2, K3. It was a bit before that, but Lights Hope, Northdale, and I don't regret it. Many of you guys as well, we put some of the best years of our lives into this game, and this game is worth it. It's a beautiful masterpiece. You can stop at any point in time in any zone, and it looks like a beautiful watercolor painting. The sounds, the sights, the music, the ambience, it's timeless. It's a masterpiece, and it's perfectly imperfect. People used to think of it as like a theme park type of game, but over the years I've realized that it has a lot of sandbox potential, and it is truly so fun to play in the sandbox that is vanilla WoW. So that's my disclaimer. Like, I love this game, and I say all this because I love this game and I want to keep the torch lit. I want to get new people, new generations of gamers into Classic WoW. I hope to get my my kids. They can try it someday. But yeah, I don't think Blizzard is being good custodians of the game, to be honest, right now, guys. They have this. They've made some changes to Classic Era recently, and some of you guys know that I put a petition out to have them revert Classic Era back to a no changes state, to honor their initial promise they made to us when we cloned our characters for 15-20 bucks a pop, that these servers were going to remain forever as they were the day before TBC Classic pre-patch. They've since made a bunch of changes to Era, and they didn't really do so in any kind of democratic way or poll the community or communicate much. They just kind of had an idea for vanilla WoW, and they full sent it. They gutted the 14 system. They added a new world buff for Alliance as of a few days ago, the Might of Stormwind. That's equivalent to Ren buff. Druids can now use pole arms. There's a lot of little nuanced things that, if you play Era servers right now, have leaked over from Cataclysm and Sod. And it's off-putting, man. Like, there may not be many of us. Like I said, we only have 3,000 signatures on this poll, but like, we just want to play vanilla, man. We just want to play Era. For us, this is home. This is home base. And Blizzard is free to try these seasonal servers and do whatever they want to do. Cataclysm, whatever. They can add token to Cata. Some of us, man, we just want to play vanilla, and we want this game to be preserved kind of as a museum piece or whatever you want to call it. And the only thing we'd really want to look forward to is just the occasional fresh server for vanilla every year or every 18 months. But it doesn't feel like vanilla at the moment. I think many of us don't feel secure in the future of Era servers. What's going to happen when we get the MOP and there's new technical limitations presented, and we have to move over to a MOP client, or they come up with a new idea for a seasonal realm, and now we have to move over to a new client, and now shamans are using swords, hunters are using maces. Whether or not you think the changes are good or bad to Era, it's not about that. There shouldn't be changes to Era, and it's really just that simple. People paid money. Blizzard promised us that if you paid money to clone your character over to Era, they'd be able to enjoy it under those conditions forever. I mean, the most flagrant example of this trust being broken is, I think many people probably cloned their rank characters. The rank 14 grind in vanilla, I don't care what your server you're playing on, is brutal. And it's something you'll remember for the rest of your life. And some people who completed that grind, they wanted to preserve that character so they could always just remember it and appreciate, you know, the weapons and gears that they fought hard to get. But since then, they've changed the 14 system and cheapened it a lot, right? So it's no longer, there's no more brackets, there's no more pools. It's just, and there's no more decay. It's not a matter of if you can get rank 14, it's when. So people usually have to wait till AV weekend right now to make a push for the higher ranks, and eventually you'll get it. And I understand why they did it, because of like low participation and stuff. But there was just really no communication around this, and it just kind of came out of nowhere. And slowly but steadily, the version of the game that we love is changing, and it no longer feels like home. And it just, you know, we have that modern guild interface now, and the community has to do these janky workarounds to try to, you know, just feel like they're playing at home, man. People are making weak auras to just return the original guild tab. This Might of Stormwind buff, some of you think it's a good change because it gives Alliance the world buff that Horde has, and it balances out the factions, and they don't have to jump through hoops to get it and go to Crossroads and get mind controlled and do all this. But no, it's really just not their game to touch, man. And I know that right there is gonna cause a lot of people to flinch. I get it, but you know, has it ever crossed your minds that maybe the original developers put Ren buff in for a reason? Maybe they gave Ren buff to Horde because in their mind they thought, you know, maybe from a flavor RP perspective it makes sense, the death of Ren Blackhand and what that means to the Horde. Or maybe they thought it would help balance the PvE out a bit, because Paladins are a Swiss Army knife of utility, right, compared to Horde. And Shamans do bring utility to the table, but not nearly as much as Paladins in a way. In Salvation and Sanctuary and Wisdom, and being able to buff huge swaths of other classes and other parties with these blessings, auras, you know, being an infinite pool of mana. So, you know, and yes, I know the Druid polearm thing doesn't really change too much in the meta. You know, they have a stat stick to throw on their back when they're not using a crowd pummeler or something, but it's more of like changing the aesthetic and the idea that conceptually what that means, as Blizzard is now rebalancing the classes in a way. As small as it is, they're touching the classes in Era. And now for us, the students of the game, because I'm still very much a student of vanilla, even though I've played it so many times, I'm still learning stuff every day, man. With each playthrough, I learn new things. You know, the game is different. And when we teach people about the game and try to spread that passion for Era, like, it's just different now. The other thing I want to bring up, guys, is I don't want to get into why I believe this, but I do believe this to be true. I do think Blizzard is going to do Classic Plus. Not a seasonal server. I think they are going to do a Classic Plus. If you asked me a few months ago if I thought they would, I would say no. I would think seasonal servers would be it. And that SOD right now is Classic Plus, and they're just going to keep iterating, tweaking, adding some sprinkles, subtracting some sprinkles. I do think they're going to full send Classic Plus, but I don't have faith in them. I don't think they get it. I don't think the people in place right now, like that vanilla spirit, for better or for worse, whether you love it or hate it, I don't think that's the spirit that's driving them. I think it's like a real mixed bag. And if you look at SOD and the mechanics and some of the stuff that they're putting in there with hard modes for MC and all this, there's like a disconnect again. And I know a lot of people enjoy SOD. This is just my own take. I think they're going to do Classic Plus. Everyone's going to eat it up. And they're going to turn a blind eye, and they're going to forget, you know, some of these violations of trust that Blizzard had with Era servers. They're going to eat it up. And we're just going to take the L and play through on Classic Era servers. So I'm making this message right now because maybe there's still a chance we can come together as a community and get them to revert Classic Era back to that no changes state the day before TBC Classic pre-patch. And maybe, just maybe, we can help steer or influence like the direction Classic WoW goes from here. Because for me, you know, something that would feel I mean, I have my own opinions towards what I would want out of a Classic Plus, you know, and that's a whole separate video. Like, I wouldn't want them to touch the classes or talents. And if they did, it would just be the most light touch things that wouldn't look visually any different or anything. It would just be like adding a basic taunt to Shaman or a basic taunt to Paladin, and that's it. And just don't touch the classes or talents. Like, everything else stays the same. Maybe they make a couple beautiful inspired zones with Grizzly Hills tier music. Same herbs, same everything. No dailies needed, nothing, man. Just make the sandbox a little bit larger and make it feel authentic vanilla. Stuff like that. This poor guy's lost, bro. But anyway, I don't want to get too distracted on that. I feel like that's going to be a conversation for another video. But instead of moving towards more changes, more Frankenstein seasonal servers and Classic Plus, I wish that they would give us era servers for the original trilogy, Vanilla, TBC, and Wrath. I wish they would give us fresh servers for Vanilla, TBC, and Wrath. And I do believe there's a way to slot all this into one ecosystem and make it work. You could do a Vanilla server every 12 or 18 months. You could do a TBC server every 12 or 18 months. Same with the Wrath. I don't know if you stagger them or you stack them all up and align them. You could have it so the vanilla, you know, your vanilla characters can graduate into the TBC realms if you want, or you can retire them to an era realm like Mankrik or White Man. But that would be like a better ecosystem for Classic, in my opinion. And I think all those servers for Vanilla, TBC, and Wrath, there will be people playing them. It's not going to splinter the community too much. And I have more confidence that that strategy will be a bigger hit with the Classic community than full sending a weird version of Classic Plus. I really don't have faith in Blizzard to pull that off anymore, but I can see it coming from a mile away. I do think they're going to do a Classic Plus. So this is kind of a call to arms for whatever it's worth. People are already starting to forget about the petition. We went from getting, 800-900 signatures a day to like 300, then 200. So sign it if you want to go to bat and fight for, fight for your game, man. Fight for Vanilla WoW. And hopefully they can help return it back to a no changes state the day before TBC pre-patch hit. I think that's it for today's video, guys. I just wanted to put this message out there. Definitely feel free to comment down below and let me know your thoughts if you think I'm tripping or what. But like, I say all this from a place of love. To me, Vanilla WoW, it's not just a game. It's the game of my generation. It's up there with like with Halo and Halo 2 and all that. And I know a lot of you guys are cut from the same cloth. And it's a slippery slope, guys, I assure you. Like, you might think the changes are good. It's not about that. There should be no changes to era. We have seasonal realms. That's where the changes should be. And I do think we should remember this moving forward. That, Blizzard has been changing era. And they have done so in a way that's not like how OSRS is doing it. They're not polling the community. There's a lack of communication. They just seem to kind of do what they please with era. It is what it is. So if you'd like to play with us, there's a lot of us just like crusty, brainwashed vanilla diehards. We're playing on the Deviant to Light realm, North America RP PvP. It's a community fresh, but it's sort of real fresh in a way because 99% of characters have rolled in the last few weeks. The auction house is unlinked from the other era realms, and it's one layer, and it's a good time. We're doing like world PvP events every week. So that's it for now, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Catch me on my live stream, twitch.tv/Kargoz Gaming. I'm live every day around 12 or 1 p.m. PST, and I stream for about 4 or 5 hours. Take care, guys. Take care.